Hello, hi everyone, welcome along. Oh my days, it has been just like the most manic, busy, panicky 12 hours ever. Well, not 12 hours, not even that, just since like 5 o'clock this morning. Today was the day that I had to get loads and loads of books packed up and ready to go and write notes with them. And usually I have some help with that. Kim, the lovely Kim, who used to help me in the studio with the admin, would come in and give me a hand. And obviously with COVID, I had to do it solo. And I get I get so flustered with like DHL and the whole computer thing and, you know, like customs and parcels going to different places. Oh, pro forma invoices. Anyway, I'm almost there, but the studio looks like an absolute bomb has hit it. So like there's just paper everywhere because I was panicking because you have to pre-book the slot for the guy to come and pick it up, and I wasn't even ready for him to come. So I sent away half of them, the other half are still there. There's just paper everywhere. You know, in like a TV show where somebody's house has been broken into and they're obviously looking for something, so they just like throw everything round and there's just like drawers open and paper on the floor. It looks like that. It looks like somebody has been searching for a secret password amongst the debris. So today I'm not going to do any drawing or colouring because my heart rate is just pounding, and I had like 3 coffees this morning to get me amped up to do this stuff today. I don't think I could draw. I'm just... adrenaline is going through the roof. So hit me up with your questions. Hi Bev. I just parcelled something up for you actually. Tell me your questions, ask me your questions, and I will answer them. I have exactly 30 minutes before well, I just need to cram a few more things in because the next delivery pickup slot's tomorrow morning, and I need to get home for the kids. I'm seeing St. Paddy's jokes. I didn't even realise it was St. Paddy's today. Right. Oh, someone said, what pens did you recommend for drawing on stones a while ago? So, good question. We use Posca pens, and they are, I don't have any here just now, but they're usually about this thick, and, well, they're all of different thicknesses. The ones that we like are this thick. They have water-based paint inside of them, and they come out super vibrant, beautiful. It's not like a marker, it literally is paint in a pen, so it's really easy to control. But because it is water-based, after you've painted them, you need to let them dry, your rocks, and then give them a top coat with like a clear varnish. We use one called Mod Podge. I just get it on Amazon, and then once it's dried, your rocks will be watertight, so you can pop them out in the garden or hide them, and the paint won't all run. But definitely Posca pens. Oh, right. So many, wait a minute, they're all pinging away. Do you ever use the Giotto pencils? I do. I think I've actually got some through there. I've also got Giotto glitter markers, or I did. No shock here, they got stolen by the kids. They are really nice. They're just metallic, sparkly pens. I couldn't use them in the colouring book. The ink would definitely seep through for me, but they're very vibrant, lovely. We like them. I think Giotto also do a really great portraiture skin tone range. I'm sure I saw them a while back. Love them. Mod Podge, Bev says. I know, amazing. Right, what do I do wrong? Posca pens always spit ink when I'm using them. So there's a little ball inside the pen. Never ever shake it with the lid off. The paint's going to go everywhere. Put the lid on, give it a shake. That mixes up the paint inside the barrel of the pen. Then the nib, when you push down hard, the nib will go into the pen. And what that does is it sort of draws the paint down. So do a couple of little like pumps like that to get the paint flowing, and then just use it like a normal pen. Don't push so hard that the nib keeps going back in, otherwise it'll start pooling. It's just gonna have too much paint coming down. So pump on a blank sheet of paper, get the paint there, and then go for it, is what I would say. Which of your books is your personal favourite? I'm just gonna have to randomly pick comments, although I see them up there now as well. So I always say asking me which book is my favourite is like asking a mum which child is her favourite. You can't pick. However, having said that, I do always try to make the project that I'm working on better than the project that came before it. Like, it's just such a simple like approach to creativity. Just keep trying to make the piece of work you're doing now better than the one that came before it, and that way you keep getting better and better. So when you take that principle into account, Worlds of Wonder is of course the best book that I've done yet. And I have to say, it will always have a special place in my heart because it's the book that I made during the hardest year of life I think any of us have ever lived through. I mean, to create a book during lockdown whilst having the kids at home was challenging, but it was also the best, most incredible escape and like a tremendous way for me to enjoy drawing and being creative with the kids. Like, quite a lot of it was done at the kitchen table with Evie beside me going, "Mum, how do you spell cat? Is it a kicking ca?" And also it was just, I think a lot of it was inspired by basically a year playing outdoors with the kids. I was speaking to somebody this morning and we've had such an Enid Blyton year. Like, I cannot ever remember a time in life when we have played in the garden so much, spent so much time climbing trees, drank so much hot chocolate out of doors, because that's how you meet up with your friends now. Like, we meet their little buddies one at a time and they have a hot chocolate in the woods, so they climb a tree and have like their sandwiches up a tree. It's just been wonderful, and I think that has definitely all fed into my imagination. And I think just having a really playful approach to the last year has made this new book super special. Like, it's got this like optimistic whimsy to it that I just don't think any of the other books have. So there you go. Right, hello Israel. Hello. So many memories. I know, Hills. It's been incredible. Oh, someone said, Jenny says the Magic Faraway Tree. Evie is reading that exact book. And we found a tree just like that the other day. Someone got an electric sharpener on Amazon. We got one the other day and it was, yeah, not great. I'm gonna have to get another one. I might look at that one. Sue says, will you be doing another how to draw book? Possibly. Never say never. So I am actually working on a new book now and I have to finish it. I actually think probably about 3 weeks time. That's how crazy publishing is just now. So because I'm going to publish 2 books in a year, secret stuff, I have to finish it really soon, and it's not a colouring book and it's not a drawing book. It's somewhere in between. Vague. I'm not allowed to tell you any more yet, but there is something new coming and it'll be in October. Happy St. Paddy's Day. Hi. Kim says, have you used the Chameleon 2-sided pencils? Do you know, I haven't. I don't think I've ever used any Chameleon pencils. I have some Chameleon markers through there, which I don't often use just because I struggle to use markers. I don't like 2-sided pencils. I just feel the risk of impaling myself upon the end is much higher, which is ridiculous because why would you impale yours? I don't know, I just don't like it. I don't like that. I would rather have 2 separate pencils, even if I was travelling and it was like the bonus of having 2 colours on the one pencil, like you're going on vacation. I still would not. I just don't like it for some reason. Sorry. Which colour have you worn down completely? There is always a green in every pack of pencils that I use the most. So in the Ergo Softs, I wonder, this isn't my usual Ergo Soft set. It's this one. Let me show you so this is the white. This is a new set. So it's not even been used that much, but it's always that green in the Ergo Softs. I draw a lot of leaves, as you might have noticed, so green comes in handy. Also, I just think green is so calming. Like, that's my favourite colour. It's so calming, relaxing. There's so many great shades, and like sort of fresh green like that you can use by itself, or you can layer it over a darker green and make it lighter. Use it as a blender. So versatile. Right. Oh my goodness. Holbeins. Sorry, the comments come in thick and fast. Maybe I'm better looking up here. They come in a bit slower. Hannah says, do you have any tips on improving confidence in my colouring ability? Yes, Hannah. So for a start, that sounded very northeast. For a start, why are you lacking confidence? I think that's the main question. Like, who is judging you? Who is judging your work? If it's you, then that is a completely mindset issue. If somebody else is going, oh, it's all right, get that person out of your life. They are terrible. They are a bad influence. Anyone that says that, gone. So, getting back to you, I think just practice. There's things that I'm not very confident about when it comes to creativity. I find drawing people tricky, really hard. But I think the more you do something, the less scary it is, and find different ways of approaching it and make it fun. If you're doing something and you're colouring and you're like, oh, I don't like it, I don't think it looks good, just stop. I mean, persevere to a certain point, but life is difficult enough. If you're working on a picture and something's gone wrong with it or you're just not very happy, just turn the page, my friend, move on, have a light-hearted touch. Try doing something like in Worlds of Wonder and World of Flowers. There are some pages with just smaller motifs. So don't tackle a huge double-page spread. You're probably going to get overwhelmed and like all twirly. Try something smaller. Try a limited colour palette. So that thing where we pick either 3 or 5 or 7 pencils. So you're not flummoxed by all the different colours. Go with pencils, not pens, because if the ink bleeds, you're immediately like, oh my word, so stressful. And those would be my top tips. Show your colouring, share it, but share it in a nice supportive community. For example, upload it to the colouring gallery on my website. The Johanna Basford Your Pages is a Facebook group run by Claire Holloway and her whole team of admins. And like, I don't run that page. It is wonderful. It is such a lovely community. They are so kind, so helpful, so supportive of each other. So if you're looking for a Facebook page to like go on and upload your work and maybe ask for tips, I see people on there going, what do you think I should do here? And people are so generous with their advice and suggestions. I would say go and check out that Facebook page. Cass says, this community rocks. It does, doesn't it? I think rumours of the internet being a horrible, horrible place are incredibly wrong. I think people are just looking in the wrong places. Everywhere that I look, it is just filled with love and positivity and niceness. Alex says, how do you feel about tattoos using your pictures? Fine, happy. If you have the pain tolerance to do that, you go for it. I'm fully supportive. But let's do everyone a favour. Don't scrimp on this. Pick a good tattooist, not your mate who bought the kit off the internet and is going to give it a go. That's not good for anyone. Find someone good, have your tattoo done. I'll be thinking of you. Wait until the scabby stage has finished and then post a picture and tag me in it because I love seeing the tattoos. Somebody had, I did like a little bee, like a steampunk bee for the New York Times a couple of years ago, and the drawing was like this big, and this guy had it tattooed on his back, like all the way over his back. It must have been so painful. I cannot think how long it took. Oh my days. But yeah, go for it is what I say. My friend actually had a mastectomy 2 years ago now for breast cancer. And once she's had her final surgery, we're going to do a tattoo over her scar. Can't wait. It'll be really, really pretty. Okay. Tattoos. What are your favourite blending pencils? I don't actually have a favourite blending pencil. I like the Derwent blending pen. I think it is better than a blending pencil. They come in a pack with 2 of them in it. A thicker one like this and a thinner one. Oh, they do have a little bit of a smell. I think they're cracking. Really, really good. Milena says, when are we doing the blending video? I know. I was thinking about that this morning. It's on my to-do list, I swear. Evie said to me, Mum, will you stop saying that you're going to do things and then regret it and not do them? I do that all the time. I'm like, yeah, definitely. And then I have major commitment regret. Like, I don't know when I'm going to have the time to do that. But the blending video is a must. Like, I've got all the supplies here. I keep hoarding stuff on my desk thinking we'll use that in the blending video. We'll do it, I promise. Right. Oh, B, good question, B. She's asking, when I do a mirror image picture, like a symmetrical one, do I draw both sides or do I use the computer? I use the computer. I used to draw both sides so I would draw one side and then use tracing paper and flip it and redraw it. But these days, for things that are like symmetrical or a repeat pattern or this sort of designs where it's like repeated around, I don't want to say a mandala because mine aren't. Like mandalas are a whole thing of their own, and they also have a roots in spiritual practice and religion, and like I just draw pictures that sometimes are repeated into circles. So I wouldn't say mine are mandalas, but those kind of pictures, I do draw it all by hand, then I scan it in and I use Photoshop to either repeat or reflect, all those kind of things. The other key reason I use Photoshop is to like tidy things up. So if I've smudged a fingerprint, if there's a bit of chocolate, if I've scribbled something on the side of the paper, like I'll often think of things when I'm drawing and I don't want to get up and like sort it out. So it'll be like, pay Evie's dancing, or something that I need to buy, or take the chicken out the freezer. That's always written down the sides of the pictures, so I have to take that out. Oh, right. Oh, Pat says, I saw your wonderful lecture, Johanna. Thank you. I was so scared doing that. I'm glad I did it though. It's good to do things that scare us, isn't it? And I don't know why I was scared, because I can sit here and speak to you lot, but you see, having to do that, oh my days, I was like sweating, and I was scared I was going to say the wrong thing, and oh, awful. Right. Oh, I can see you being in partnership with Evie in the future. No, Hills, no. She is a very strong-minded young lady. I don't want to say bossy, because that's like one of those things where we shouldn't tell our girls to stop being bossy. They're just really opinionated. But I definitely think she's either going to be a hooligan or a world leader. Like some, you know, it's that polar. It's going to be one of those two things, hooligan or world leader. And me and Mia will just be in the middle going, holy moly. Jeez Louise, right, what is the best way? I wish I could pause the questions comment. I don't know how to see all the comments, because often I'll see it and it just goes choo, choo, choo. Somebody says, what happened to the dog that was like this guy? Says I sold him. Often when I was just getting started, or even midway through, if I was a bit short of money, I'd just sell some random stuff. So when I was really broke and living in my flat, I used to draw on I would buy new pairs of Converse white trainers, All Stars, draw on them, sell them on eBay. I've quite often just gone through like a stack of drawings that I've had and sold them off, like the originals. Sold the dog. I gave away the boat that was in that exhibition, and somebody I saw on the Johanna Basswood pages, actually, somebody had taken a picture of the boat. It's in a playground in a school near us, because the head teacher of that school used to be my primary 2 teacher, and it was before I had children. I didn't know what to do with that boat, and my dad was having a whinge going, get out my shed. Where, by the way, it was not causing any problems. If you see the amount of junk that my dad has in his shed, I cannot believe that boat was causing an issue. But anyway, as you can see, I've moved past it. I donated the boat to that primary school, and it's in the playground, and I think the little kiddies crawl in and out of it. Bonjour de France. Hello. Oh, Vi says that was me. I took the pic of the boat. Thanks, Vi. So funny, huh? Mrs. McGowan, that used to be at that school, the head teacher before she retired, she was my teacher in primary 2 and 3, and she's like, loved her. You know how like some teachers you just really, really like? She was one of them. Okay, do you have a favourite colour or a favourite flower, Millie says? Yeah, my actual I was about to say my favourite flowers are sweet peas, but it changes. I like a sweet pea. I love the smell of them, and they remind me of my gran. But I also really love a peony. Who doesn't? But I do not like drawing or colouring peonies or roses for that matter, because they always just look like cabbages. Like, I find it really tricky to draw roses. That's why you never see them in my book. I think when you try and simplify a rose into just line art, it often looks like a cabbage. It's a tricky one. Something for me to work on. Okay. Yep, everyone's saying they pass out the way at the co-op. Yeah, I know exactly where you are. Sweet peas. Yep, we all love sweet peas. It must be such like a granny flower. Right. I'm gonna try and someone's at Debbie says, what's the name of the piano music in the video earlier? No idea, I'm afraid. I think we'd have just got it off a random music website. Kath says, got a pencil order on its way. Well done. So exciting, isn't it? Oh, honeysuckle is my grandfather, Palma says. It's so funny how certain flowers remind you of certain people. I also think certain flowers remind me of a time of life. So if anyone knows, there's a little purple flower that we used to grow in our front garden called night-scented stock, and it was just little purple flowers, but at dusk they get super, super pungent, and the scent is like really thick and sweet and heavenly, and I guess it's to attract evening pollinators just at that sort of nighttime, like not dark, dusk, in the summer. And that smell of those flowers just reminds me of being like 10 years old and thinking life couldn't get any better because it would be the summer holidays and we were allowed to play outside with our neighbours until 9 o'clock at night, and we were just non-stop outdoors, and when you ran past those flowers you just got that big waft of smell. Oh, it's a delight. I tried to grow some in pots outside our house last year and for some reason it just didn't work, but that smell just reminds me of that age. Barb says, would you do a colouring book of animals? Maybe. I think, do you know what? I actually really enjoy drawing all the different houses and buildings and architecture in Worlds of Wonder. So I think if I was to do another colouring book, which I probably am, not this year, I think it would more likely be more sort of dwellings and buildings and places as opposed to animals. There you go. Sarah just got our polychromo delivery. Oh, do they smell nice, Sarah? Open them up and have a little smell. That wood smell is cedar. Oh, these ones don't smell. I'm the kind of person that sharpens a pencil and then sniffs it just because I really like that smell. Fran says, I'd like to see a musical adventure. It's one of those oxymorons, isn't it? Or a paradox? Or a metaphor? Anyway, I could probably incorporate some musical instruments into that. I think I'm scarred for life. So in our family, I was the arty one and my sister was the musical one. And I was about to say endured, that's really bad. A lot of childhood was spent listening to her practicing the flute, piano and violin. Even just like the sound of those instruments, like a violin being tuned up, I'm like, whoa. Right, the cedar roundy pencils, yes, I love that. Everyone loves that scent. More dwellings, Colette says. Good. They do smell amazing, Sarah. Good. Glad. You know what doesn't smell nice? Oh no, Sue says, should we club together and buy Bev a new keyboard? Absolutely not. I would be devastated. Even if she got a new keyboard, I'd be like, get that caps lock on. And I wrote Bev a note the other day, like actually physically wrote it to pop in with something. And all caps. I mean, there was no danger there was going to be a lowercase letter in there. Bev, please, never change. Lee says historical dwellings. Yeah, so I would probably do inspired by historical dwellings. I wouldn't want to do to say like this is such and such castle, because just like with the flowers, if you don't get it 100% right, you're gonna get called out and it's really stressful and just takes away all the fun. So I quite like the idea of taking like bits of Edinburgh Castle and mixing it with Dunnottar Castle and like merging all those things together, and maybe like the Houses of Parliament and maybe even like Aztec buildings and ancient Egypt ruins. Maybe there's something in there. Yeah, we are all not here for Bev abandoning the all caps. Will I do another storybook? Maybe. Is Emily here? Emily, this will save me an email. I was wrapping up your book today that I'm sending you, and because there's so many books floating about, I have little post-it notes with everyone's name written on them, and then when I wrap the book I stick it on there and blah blah blah. Anyway, Emily, I think I accidentally wrapped your post-it with your name scribbled on it into the beautiful packaged thing that you're going to get through the post, so just take that out and ignore it. It was one of those things where I'd like finally finished wrapping it all up and I was like looking to find the post-it to throw in the bin. I was like, oh no. It's like that bit in Friends. Everyone loves a Friends episode when Rachel can't find her engagement ring and it's in the lasagna. It's like that, but not as dramatic or funny. And I was just here by myself and there was nobody to dig through it, but it was kind of the same. Dollar Academy. Is that a really pretty school? I once drew Fetish School in Edinburgh. It just looks like someone out of Harry Potter. They commissioned a drawing of the school for their prospectus. Fettes. If you've ever driven through Edinburgh, you know what I mean. It just looks like someone out of Hogwarts. But it was really pretty. A book of fairies and angels. Gillian, I'm just not great at the people. That would just stress me out. Nah. Emily's been collecting my post-it notes. My cat is sitting in my lap. Oh, that's so sweet, Bonnie. Fetish is lovely. Is it Fetish or Fetties? Anyway, I'm not sure, but that's how you spell it. A tour. We're gonna do a virtual tour, Lucy. I can't. I mean, nobody's going anywhere. I can't even get down the road to Dundee to see my friends. So a tour is not on the cards. Also, even if there wasn't COVID, there are still 2 wee girls at home, and the thought of trying to haul them round with me, or worse, leaving them behind, hurts my heart. So not for now. Maybe eventually, but not for now. Also, here's the thing about book tours. Like, you guys are everywhere. You're all over the place. How do you pick where to go? It doesn't seem fair to just say, well, I'm going to go to London and New York and blah, 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 because you guys are everywhere. And to be honest, it's you that have, like, been here for all the lives and who support the colouring books. So it feels a little bit disingenuous to start doing tour dates in just specific places and then alienating lots of you. I would much rather do it online. Then we can see you all. Karen says something featuring maps. Yeah, I like that idea actually. Kat says we could come to you. I'm not sure the people of Aberdeenshire would be fully up for that sort of mass incoming of people just at the moment, but maybe. Any new ideas for the book launch? Yes. Again, it's on. Let me just get all these books out of my studio and tidy up, and then it's Operation Book Launch. All will be revealed. It's better if you have the book. If you cannot get the book in time for the release date, don't worry. I will find ways for you to still be involved in all the good stuff, but better if you have the book. Let me see what else. Kath says, we would win them over with our charm. You probably would, Kath, to be honest. Maps, Gothic style. Yep, all good ideas, Barbara says 500 curious colourists from the secret society flowing in Aberdeen. So funny. A food book, Sarah says. So here's the thing about food books. I think I would just be too hungry the whole time. I was really hungry drawing those cake pages, and then I did a page of like treats in the new book, ice creams and cakes. Actually, there was a whole series of sketches that I did of things that didn't even make it in, but I think I would just be permanently hungry if I did that. A recipe book collaboration, Catherine, that says, quite like that idea. And then you could colour in. I was speaking to somebody else actually who has a recipe book coming out soon, and I was doing a little bit of drawing for her just as a present, and she was saying it would be nice to colour in instead of doing the washing up. So I said, oh, I've just had an alert to see my AirPods have got 20% of battery. They're not even in. Oh wow. Milana says, did the teacup page scare you off doing another page on stream with us? Not scare me off. It definitely made me think about it quite seriously before we do it again. But we should do that again, wouldn't it? Shouldn't we? I think next time I would just make sure whatever we're drawing, the scale was a bit bigger. Like, the thing that was flustering me was the scale. Like, those teacups were like the size of my thumbnail, and people were going, could you do a sunset with a castle in the foreground and a small ghost riding a broomstick going off to the left? I'm like, not really. I was like, a star? Would that be okay? It's just, I love how much faith you have in my ability to do things, but let's be realistic and bring it all down here. A phrase I often say to Evie is, just to manage your expectations, and then I'll say something like, we're probably not going to be going to see your aunties and uncles at the weekend and have ice cream in the garden. And Evie started to say it now. She came in the other day from school. It's like, Mum, just to manage your expectations, I don't think that homework thing went that well. It's like, okay, sweetheart, at least you tried. Thank you for managing my expectations. Right, we're at past. Folks, I'm going to have to go because we need a logo. Lucy, I've done a logo. Where is it? Look, remember? Maybe were you not here yesterday, Lucy? Look, I've made this. This is a download that you will get during launch week. And I know it's back to front, but it says Certificate of Membership, the Secret Society of Curious Colourists. And this is our logo. It's like one of those hipster things with the pencils and then the letters. And I couldn't really work out if the letters should go left to right and up and down or all the way around. Anyway, kites, Michelle. Yeah, do you know what, actually? I was thinking about that the other day. I need to draw kites for something else. Thank you. Okay, just to manage your expectations, everyone, I am going to have to go now and tidy up this pit of a studio and finish wrapping up these things, because it was on my to-do list that I had to finish it today, and if I don't, I will like spontaneously combust and forever be regretful of not maximising my output today. Just that thing, like I just need to score it off the to-do list. I'll see you all back here tomorrow when we will finish. What's Thursday tomorrow? We'll finish the tickets. I had this lovely idea actually about, I've got this little bronzy gold paint that Claire Holloway gave me. I think it's like a watercolour. I think we should be able to do some details on it. And I think given that kind of Wes Anderson colour palette, it will look beautiful. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Enjoy your evening. Thank you so much. Sorry if I missed like a gazillion comments. I'm seeing people saying about the camera. Yeah, I'm doing it on my front camera on my phone, so it's always back to front. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.